Now, when it comes to harnesses, I really want to kind of mention this the way I would talk about climbing shoes. What fits you, what you are comfortable in, is the best. Now, when you look at major brands, everybody's making product that is UIA certified and super safe. So comfort and style are really the main things you're going to be looking at in harnesses. Everybody's making something pretty safe, and as much as I'm here to tell you that Petzl is the greatest and the best and everything like that, the best harness for you is the one that fits your body well and you're super comfortable in and has all the gear loops where you want them and stuff like that. So pretty much we're going to talk about what types of harnesses we have and how to select a harness that works out best for you. Now, every brand makes an introductory harness, and ours is going to be the Corax. And when we say introductory, a lot of that comes into price point and feature sets and things like that. And one thing that the Corax does is it brings a lot of adjustability. So the Corax actually has dual buckles in the front, which allows the user to make sure that their belay loop and their tying point is positioned really comfortably in front of them. That also, as a retailer, gives you the opportunity to stock only 2 sizes in this harness. There's a size 1 and a size 2. That gives you the ability to buy fewer SKUs and offer more size range to more people. So one of the other benefits of the dual adjustability is if you have larger climbers that are just now getting into the sport, this really allows the harness to sit over undefined hips really well. So another little perk there with this harness. But with every harness that we make, it does come with 2 or 4 big gigantic gear loops with a tagline in the back, adjustable ride height for the harness. If you ever see somebody, if you work in a gym or anything like that, or people are trying their harness on and it seems like the leg loops are drooping way down to the back of their knee, that's what this adjustment for is in the back. So it just brings the gear loops, or the leg loops up, and gets them kind of under the back end where they're supposed to be. Corax is a great price and a really great introductory harness for that. Now, when we move up into our regular I don't want to say performance, because we make some really specialty lightweight harnesses, but I think that when we get into the next range of harnesses, that they are fully suited for any climbing adventure that you want to go on. They may not be the lightest, and that would be a reason why you might look towards something like the Sitta or Rundos if you're wanting to save weight. But that being said, we have the Luna and the Jama and the Sama and Selena. Now, in construction, these harnesses are quite similar. The main difference and the thing that we're going to see that will make these two stand apart is definitely going to lie within the leg loops, okay? So the Luna and the Ajama are going to have adjustable leg loops. Meaning that just like on the waist of the harness, there's going to be an automatic locking buckle that will allow you to open and close down that leg loop. And then with a fixed leg loop, we're going to see that there's literally that. It is a fixed diameter, and there is a little bit of elastic in there that's going to allow that to open and adjust to a smaller range of size of legs. Personally, even though I fit the description of people who would want an adjustable leg loop, I'm a medium plus in the waist, but a large in the legs. I really prefer a fixed leg loop. I like the streamlined nature of it. I like how clean the harness is without buckles down there. It's just a fit that I really personally prefer, but people really like to see the adjustable leg loop. Another difference between the Ajama and the Sama, or the Luna and Selena, is that the Ajama and Luna are going to have a 5th gear loop. So that can make this harness maybe favorable towards trad climbers whenever they're wanting to put a whole bunch of stuff on their harness, or maybe even somebody who's shooting climbing photography. This has a nice wide leg loop, a nice wide hip belt, and it's going to be super comfortable hanging in. So maybe if you've got a bunch of stuff hanging on there, from a utilitarian standpoint, that 5th gear loop is super handy. You're only going to see the standard 4 gear loops on here, and if you notice the way that the gear loops are constructed, they're designed to cause your gear, as you take gear off of it, to want to index towards the front of the harness. So just another cool little feature added in there to make the harness a little more better. The printing and the styling on the harnesses is on point, and with nice mesh padding on the inside for that thing to handle moisture and heat. So once again, we have the Luna and a JAMA with the fixed, or with the adjustable gear loops. Look at what a mess I've made here. And then we have the Selena, and we have the Sama. Now, obviously, men's version's women's version. So what does that even mean in a harness, right? Does that mean that it's just a girly color? For some brands, that's actually the case. If you were to go from a men's harness to a women's harness, literally they'll make it pink in a smaller size, an industry term, which is shrink it and pink it for ladies. Petzl doesn't think that that's proper, and we hold ourselves to a higher standard than that. So one thing that you'll see when looking at a men's harness to a women's harness is that the women's harness actually has a taller belay loop. Now, what that means is that it will allow this harness to have a higher rise to accommodate a female's hip shape. That's really important in making sure that the harness is going to sit comfortably up and above the hips. In the men's harness, this is a little bit shorter because the rise, which is the distance from the lower tying point to the high tying point, is shorter for men. And so that's just a way that Petzl has made the harnesses fit the female body a little bit better, and something that we're really proud of, that thought gets put into the product. Now, if you are a child, you might want to go rock climbing as well. So we do offer 2 different children's harnesses. We have the Wisa T, which I think is just cute as hell. It has a little mouse on the back, and he's got some cheese in his chalk bag. I don't know why that's so cool, but it is. This harness has both a dorsal attachment and a chest external attachment, so you can attach it either the back or the chest depending on what the situation is. We have seen that the dorsal attachment makes great for rigging up some Superman swings for the kids to keep them occupied at the crag, or you can just put them on a leash and walk them around, which is just weird. But the Wisa T is great. This is up to children of 30 kilograms, around 60 pounds. After that, you'll need to move them into a machu, which also does come with an upper body harness if you want to continue to keep your kids in a full body harness setup. And this is rated up to 40 kilograms. So good offerings there for the youth to get out and play on the rock.